Welcome to the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Pointless Exercise Podcast. It's time for the Cubs podcast with Praz. Oleg is on assignment.
Yes.
I don't want to know what that assignment is. He assigned himself to something. It's probably not legal.
I didn't even know that he worked until now, so okay. Good for you, Oleg.
Oh, is that why he couldn't be here? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't pay any attention to the reason. He just said he wouldn't be here. So
right.
Well, good for him. Let's see. The Cubs are coming off of an exciting. I wasn't surprised they lost the third game on Wednesday, because last night they would have spent all night celebrating keeping the BP Wintrust Infotapes.com Cup.
This is true.
For the fifth straight year?
And that's fourth, I think, but
fourth?
Yeah.
You know, today is the first time the White Sox have beaten Craig Counsell at Wrigley Field.
Yes, I saw the stat on the Marquee pregame show earlier today. That obviously, I wasn't going out of my way to watch or anything like that, but I was at Murphy's before the game and they had it on the TVs there, so happened to see that then.
So I tweeted out or Blue Sky, whatever, a picture of. So last night during the rain delay, I threw the Cub game over on the second TV so I keep an eye on it and see when they came back. And they started playing the podcast that Alex Cohen and Lance Brzezowski do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. Alex Cohen sitting on the couch on the marquee set, his feet barely touch the ground. So I took a picture of it. I made fun of him. And Rob Hart from WBBM blocked me.
Oh, jeez. Yikes. Hey, someone's got to replace Bruce Levine to look awkward on the couch on the marquee set there.
I think every time they show the couch where Bruce isn't there, I just expect to see like his feet sticking out from under it, like the Wicked Witch of the South. Which one? Because I just assume that I think he sleeps there. So
right.
I mean, I know Travis Wood used to live in the bullpen at Wrigley, and I think Bruce lives in the Marquee studio. I'm sure both those things are true.
Yeah, definitely.
But the Cubs, the first two games were amazing, especially the first game.
Yeah,
with
instant classic in that first game.
And with. I heard Boog. I know what he was trying to say, but he completely botched it because he's like, it's the second time in baseball history that a player has hit a homer on the first pitch of the game and then walked it off on the last pitch of a game. Well, Pete didn't see the first pitch of the game,
right?
The whoever led off for the White Sox saw the first pitch of the game.
Yeah,
but
Sam Antonacci.
He did homer. He homered on the first pitch that he saw and the last pitch that he saw and the first pitch that the Cubs saw. And I get what Boog was saying,
right? But
he was kind of tripping over it as he said it. And I kind of wondered if he had actually he knew what he wanted to say and he didn't say it.
Yeah.
And apparently that's why he had to take today off. Boog wasn't there today.
Yeah. Coming on the mic. Yeah.
It's just so weird. I suspect he's probably not going to Seattle, so he just gets an extra day. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, maybe we were talking about it a little bit before the show, but the White Sox and Braves have a makeup game tomorrow. Is that one that he's calling for ESPN in some fashion, or I'm not totally sure, but
no, I mean, I doubt he's a makeup game wouldn't be on anyway because it wasn't on the schedule, so he wouldn't be calling. No national thing would cover it. Plus, there's no way they scheduled any Sox games.
Probably
of the
not.
Year. Nobody was.
Not the beginning of the year, but as it gotten better, maybe. I don't know.
Although, the Cubs play Seattle on Fox on Saturday night,
right?
And it's not going to be on Fox 32 for the Bears preseason game instead.
Yeah. It's going to be on, what is it, My 50, like the WPWR, the one TV station that's, I think is licensed to Gary, Indiana. It's always fun when you see
Well,
that.
it's fitting. It'll only be televised in Hammond. It's the only place.
Well, no, they should switch it. They should have like the Bears game on the Hammond
that's
TV
true.
station.
Right. That should be on a bit.
Yeah. Their future team coming there.
They should send George to Hammond, George and Kevin, to Hammond during the game, and then they could just during breaks in the action, they could just tour the Superfund site and talk about it'd be a nice place for a concession stand right here. We could put that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, George, what has more panache? Human waste over here, or that big drum of toxic chemicals? Which one do you like better? I see there's a theory now because Roger Goodell met with some Illinois legislators the other day.
I saw that, yeah.
Now, and Mike Florio has the theory that the NFL has told the Bears, we can go along with the ruse, so you get your stadium deal. You cannot move there. You can't go there. We will not let you, because they have to approve it, and 23 owners have to approve it, and they're basically saying, Bernstein talks about this all the time, and he's right. We can't fucking get there.
No.
Like, teams are going to fly into O'Hare, and it's going to take a day and a half to get to Hammond.
Oh my God.
There are no hotels for for the team to stay in, much less anybody else. It's like, no, you can't go there. We can pretend to try to get your sweet deal in Illinois, but you can't go there. And I tend to believe that.
Yeah, no, I don't believe for a second that Hammond is going to happen. I honestly think it's more likely they stay at Soldier Field than, well, honestly,
they're going to have, I think they're going to have to at least do a short-term addition to their lease, because they're not going to have a stadium done. I think their lease runs out in 33.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done anything yet. And so, you can build a stadium in 7 years. They won't have a freaking one approved for however long. And then, and honestly, the fans don't care. Right. You can stay in Soldier Field. That's fine.
Yeah. No, the vast majority of fans don't. Right. The vast majority of fans don't attend the games. So, yeah, like, as long as colors and the logo and the city name stays the same, like, yeah, whatever. They can play at Soldier Field. That's fine.
I had somebody at work go, will you even go to a game if it's in Hammond? And I go, I haven't been to a game at Soldier Field and I had to think, I go, in 21 years. So I don't think it's going to be that tough to not go to Hammond. It's, it would be fine. Yeah. I like my football the way God intended it, on television.
There you go.
God and Red Grange.
God and Red Grange. It is funny. Just I don't want to go too long into this. It is funny. I heard this on another podcast I was listening to not long ago, that just like talking about the topic of like how the NFL wants football to be played on like every day of the week at some point, or at least like at one point every day of the week, like once per year. And it's crazy that like they have already stolen Sundays from God and they're trying to expand more upon that.
The only day there won't be a game this year is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because the Bears are playing on a Wednesday, right?
Is that the Christmas game against the Packers?
I don't remember. I remember thinking, God, I think that's a Wednesday. I know there's a game on a Wednesday. Isn't there there's a Thanksgiving Eve game? The Bears aren't in that. Yeah. There's a Wednesday game.
Yeah, there's like a blackout Wednesday game.
So
Christmas is on a Friday this year. So
okay, Friday. Well, there's already the Black Friday game. So that is the Black Friday game then. No, that's the day after Thanksgiving. So there's 2 Friday games this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's always Saturday games late in the year, and Sunday and Monday. So it's just Tuesday. It's the only day there isn't a game on. And there have been NFL games on Tuesdays because during COVID,
yes,
they were having to like reschedule games on weird days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we should get back to the Cubs. They are currently 5 games behind the Brewers. A couple days ago, they were 3 behind, and you thought, all right, they're going to catch them.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Brewers won 3 out of 4 in LA.
They did. Yeah, they made them look, like. I mean, granted, when the Dodgers came to Wrigley, the Cubs swept them, and it wasn't all that challenging outside of the last game of it. But yeah, the Brewers, they made pretty easy work of the Dodgers in LA.
But the Padres slapped the Brewers around, so that was fun to see.
Right.
I don't think, and we'll find out at the end of between August 31st and September 9th, the teams play 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Cubs and Brewers. I don't think the Brewers are better than the Cubs now. I did for most of the season. I don't think they are. Now, losing Dansby hurts.
Yes, and potentially losing Kevin Gausman hurts. Do we have any timetable on that?
He's just had a cramp in he's had it before. He said he's usually had it after games, not during.
I see. Okay.
He's not. It's not an injury. He had a hand cramp. That's why
Gotcha.
I made shouldn't be playing Guitar Hero in the clubhouse with Carlos Zambrano between innings. That's not smart.
There we go. Yes.
So he's fine. Honestly, what do you need your left hand for anyway?
Right-handed true. Pitcher. If you're a right-handed pitcher.
Exactly. Clay Holmes is probably like, I pitched to 7 guys with a broken leg.
Right. Yeah. He was damn good today too. He 5 1/3, 1-run ball. He's rough start against Kansas City in his first time out, but
yeah, I expected that. Maybe I was hoping just because it was Kansas City. He hadn't pitched since May. You knew it was going to be, you knew it was going to be a little rough his first game out, especially a sinker baller. He's got to be able to, and he's been really good the last 2. Scuba was the best pitcher traded at the deadline. Soriano was probably the second. I think Clay Holmes was potentially the 3rd best pitcher traded at the deadline. Yeah. I mean, he's really good. And I was on that Wrigleyville Nation podcast yesterday, and they asked what I thought the playoff rotation would be. And I think it's Boyd, Holmes, and I think the Cubs are hoping it's going to be Gausman, that he's going to pitch well enough that it'll be him. And it might be, that'll be matchup dependent too, whether you go righty or lefty the first game. So it could be Clay Holmes might start the first game of the playoffs for the Cubs.
Right. Yeah, you would figure they'd want one lefty in there. I guess, Boyd would be the ideal one to go to, but...
Well, it obviously depends who they play. Like, if it's the Phillies with all those left-handed bats, you probably have Boyd pitch the first game.
Well, sure, but I'm just thinking, picking between maybe Boyd or Peterson just based on Boyd's, Boyd does have an injury history that has already reared its head twice this year that...
All right, but if he's healthy...
Right.
If he's healthy, he's been your best pitcher this year.
True.
He's only had the one bad start. His last start. When Josh Baez took batting practice against him.
When Josh Baez got 3 of his 4 career MLB hits.
Yep. Yeah, he's hitting. He's almost hitting 200 now. But honestly, that usually happens to Boyd 2 or 3 times a year, and it's the first time he's done it this year, where he couldn't locate, and he was behind, and then, although I don't understand, it just annoyed me to all. Why are you throwing a first pitch fastball to a guy in his first MLB at bat?
Yes.
He's going to swing at anything, and he's hoping to get a fastball.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Cubs have done this shit before. It's like, we want to see if he can hit a fastball. Well, he probably can.
Right.
That's probably the only thing he can hit. Maybe try something else. That's what that immediately reminded me of their great scouting report on Aristides Aquino of the Reds, who hit 5 homers against them in the first 3 games he ever played in the big leagues. He also had a 3-homer game against the Cubs.
Yeah.
So,
and he probably had about 15 for his career.
And Jason Hayward and Jeff Francoeur, and there's a whole list of guys who the Cubs have been, let's go first pitch fastball, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. Hell, James Triantos got a hit in his first at bat. Like, they're looking for a fastball. They've been waiting their whole life for it, and don't give it to them. But anyway, there was a flurry of injury updates today with Matt Shaw is wandering around. What position is he playing? I guess it doesn't matter. He's gonna have to play them all for the Cubs. Matt Shaw is wandering around second base for the Iowa Cubs tonight. He already has a hit.
Probably have to play all but third base at this point with how Bregman has been hitting. But yeah.
He's probably, I wonder if they'll hurry. But when they sent him there, because he hadn't played in so long, I think the thought was he was going to play like 5 or 6 games in Iowa just to get, real at bats. And it wouldn't shock me if he isn't standing in the clubhouse in Seattle.
Yeah.
Mostly so they don't have to play Michael Conforto at a position or at DH every day, because that's not working. Daniel Palencia will be there on Friday. Craig already said that. That is going to necessitate a roster move because they put him on the 60-day injured list for 3 days because you can. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they know they need to throw somebody overboard, and so they let Caleb Thielbar pitch back-to-back days to see how he would do.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give up a run. I don't know if he gave it, but he gave up rockets on
he did.
Tuesday night. Everything had a vapor trail coming off of it. I wouldn't be afraid to DFA Caleb Thielbar if I were the Cubs.
No, not at all. Yeah, there was the one ball that I think Miguel Vargas hit that I think Pete caught basically right in the ivy that I thought was gone off the bat, but thankfully was not the case. Yeah, Thielbar has
he's going at some point because Hobie Milner is also coming back.
Yeah.
And then I think they kind of telegraphed it when Edward Cabrera came back for a few hours and David Peterson went to the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
They sent a lefty down to the bullpen. So
right.
If I were Caleb, I would be, it would be just like the Cubs to fly him all the way to Seattle and then DFA him. Why am I here?
Right. I'm thinking back to like when they traded Chris Bryant and flew with him all the way to Washington. Yeah.
Let's see. We got bad news. It doesn't look like Hunter Harvey is going to be back this year. I was really counting on Hunter Harvey, but not going to happen.
Yeah.
Justin Steele, they said, is almost ready to start throwing to batters. Well, you might want to hurry up because there's only 5.5 weeks left of the season, right. Justin. You don't have much time to ramp up and then actually pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is funny. I don't know if you happen to consume or watch or listen to the Locked On Cubs podcast. That's one of the more popular ones these days. The hosts of that podcast are actually like pretty good friends with Justin Steele, and they have been like providing some updates on like his recovery as he's gotten back and the setback and everything. Haven't heard the most amount of updates from them in recent weeks, and it's kind of raised a couple of red flags for me there.
I mean, I felt like once he had the setback early, that was it. Like it just wasn't going to happen. The fact that he still thinks he might be able to do it. It's really impressive. Because the whole idea, I think, was, well, he will be back in 27, and I could see why you would give a rehabbing player a potential look. Maybe we can get you back at the end of this year. It gives you something to work towards. But to me, it felt like it always was a long shot. So it's not like, oh my God, he'll never pitch again. It's like, no, it would have been, maybe we see him in September, but I can't imagine he's going to throw enough that you're going to want to put him on a playoff roster. It would be insane.
Yeah, no shot. I mean, he would really have to wow you as a, like a lefty reliever, like in the same fashion that like Kerry would in 05 and 06 when he came back from his injuries, then when we still had hope for him as a starter and then, got shifted into the relief role, we would have to see like, the same numbers that like Jacob Webb has produced to this point.
I think the one that's most important, I mean, it would be the biggest benefit to get him back, would be Ben Brown, who is throwing batting practice in Arizona, much like Edward Cabrera did in Chicago. I mean, that was probably different. I think maybe they mean he's literally throwing batting practice, not just getting hit real hard.
Yeah. I mean, he could be getting hit real hard, but, you know, it doesn't hurt as much when it's there.
He was there by a lot. He was their best pitcher when he got hurt. Like, he was going to be an all-star.
He was.
I think we've just he's been gone so long, I think we kind of forget, like, if they could just get him back so he could pitch an inning or two out of relief in some of these playoff games, it would be huge. I mean, I really kind of need that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that would be nice. I wonder what it's going to be like with him with the new, you know, pitching motion that he'll have to be in after the, you know, whatever happened with his neck got removed. Because, you know, they that's the whole story we've been fed, is that, like, the wind up that he had been going with caused for that sort of problem to happen.
Did they do it? I didn't think they actually did anything to him, though.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Or are you saying the first time? Are you saying the first time he got hurt, he had a surgery?
I mean, like I was under the impression
2 years ago.
I was under the impression
they'd just been resting.
Oh, I thought
just waiting for it to heal. It's a stress reaction in his neck. I don't think there's anything to remove. Maybe get a grater.
I thought this past time it was like a benign tumor or something that they removed.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't know. I think I was under the impression that it was it's the same thing that he got that cost him half a season 2 years ago. And all they can do is wait for the pain to go away, and then he can start to throw again. And then I don't know, short of having him throw underhand, what they can do to alleviate it. But yeah, you don't want every season to end in June because his neck falls off.
Right.
That would be bad. And then Gavin Hollowell has had he hasn't had a setback, Craig said, but he is. They're gonna set him back. He's throwing, but they're cutting back on. They're being less ambitious in getting him back. At some point, they don't have enough roster spots for some of these guys. Some of these guys, it's like, oh, you don't need to hurry back. We don't have any spot. We have Ryan Zefferjon in the bullpen. We've got it covered. What would we need you for?
Oh, God.
We've got that guy out there throwing 40 pitches and 38 of them are balls. That's exactly what we need. I can see why he's so hard to hit, because nothing is ever anywhere near the plate. Of course, it's hard to hit. But
exactly. Yeah, I was almost somewhat relieved that, like, the Cubs never had the lead today. I mean, obviously I would prefer that, but I was almost somewhat relieved in that, like, Jacob Webb was probably going to be unavailable today. And if they had a lead late in the ninth, but if they had a lead late in the ninth, he probably would have been the guy to come in and close it out. And I was like, don't really want to see that.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure Tommy Hotovy is going to fix him right up. It's going to be fine.
Right.
He does have one of those sliders, though, that you can see, like, on TV, you can even see. You kind of see a little bit of a break. That thing really does take a left turn. Oh, yeah. But it doesn't ever seem to go where he thinks it's going to go, which is not great. But maybe we got him until 2030. So that's going to be good, I think.
I hope so. And hopefully in that time, we don't have another MVP contender and Moises Ballesteros leave the Cubs.
Well, if he keeps hitting the way he has for the Angels so far, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. But yeah. It's funny because Zefferjon had, I believe it was July. It had to be June, because July is when they traded for him. June, he was terrible. I couldn't throw a strike in June for the Angels. July, turned it all around. Everything was great. Well, apparently the Cubs traded for June, Zefferjon. What they really needed to trade for was for July, Zefferjon. Right. Jed apparently didn't fill out the paperwork right.
Well,
so Like, which one did you want? Oh shit, no, that's not the one we sent you.
Yeah.
It's back ordered. Maybe we can probably have it by spring.
There you go. Maybe it's
John.
alternating like how like Steve Traxel or Giovanni Soto would kind of have like alternating like good and bad years. Like Zephyr John is just a good and bad month guy.
Good or bad month. Well, September will be great. Don't want to pitch him in the playoffs then, because that's going to be bad.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
I'm gonna look this up quick. It's let's see. Yeah. Well, he was good in June too. It was April. No, not good. 11 hits and 8 walks in 16 innings, 5.51 ERA. May, 10 walks and 7 hits in 9 innings. That's not very good. 675. Nope. June, 12 walks, but only 3 hits in 13 innings. So there was an 0.66 ERA. But then July, this is the guy they traded for, 10 innings, 17 strikeouts, 2 walks.
Okay. There you go.
So far in August, well, he's only walked 3 guys in 7 innings, but it feels like 12 because everybody is 3-0. The first 3 pitches are always balls, and then maybe this mix in a strike or 2.
Yep. I know you've equated him to Matt Karchner. He feels like the entire Carlos Marmol experience all in one for me. Like,
but that's not
great Carlos and awful Carlos.
But we haven't seen great Zephyr John. We've only seen bad Carlos with him. We haven't seen good Carlos with him. Good Carlos was amazing. Like, there were 2 years there where nobody hit Carlos Marmol, and then it just all went to hell. I think poor Carlos gets a bad rap. He was better. He was good for more of his times with the Cubs than he was not. But it was the time they were ready to hand him the closer job, his arm had basically fallen off because Lou pitched him like every day for 2 years. And it was pretty much done by then. So, right. I will always have a soft spot for Carlos because when he was good, he was so good. And we thought, this guy's going to be great for a decade. And it usually doesn't work that way.
Right. And honestly, with Carlos, like around the time that he started to get really bad, it didn't really matter because those Cubs teams were crap anyways. So
it only mattered in 2011 when he blew a save that allowed the Cardinals to catch the Braves,
right,
and get in as the wild card. And then they apparently, I've been told, they won the World Series there.
Yeah,
where they would have been otherwise eliminated. They wouldn't even made the playoff. But the Braves completely choked that playoff spot away. Like, they had it wrapped up with 9 games to go, and they managed to blow it. So can't blame it all on Carlos. But there was that one day in Busch Stadium when he went to the mound in the 9th with the lead, and then he left, and they didn't have the lead anymore, and the Cardinals made the playoff.
Yeah, it did set up for like one of the most exciting final days of the season ever that year, if I remember right. Because that was the one where like the Cardinals, the Braves, and then more so on the American League side with like the Rays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox were like all involved in like crazy, like undetermined playoff races that still needed to be figured out on that last day.
That last day is the reason the Cubs won a World Series in 2016, because the Red Sox blew their playoff spot. They made Theo fire Tito.
Yes.
And then he's like, fuck it. I just want to go home. I want to leave. And then he ended up going to the Cubs to build the World Series champions. So Marmol pitched God. From 2008 to 2011, he pitched 82 games, 79 games, 77 games, 75 games.
Man,
led the league in 2010. He finished 70 games for the Cubs.
Sheesh.
Led the league. He struck out in 2010. He struck out 16 batters per 9 innings. 138 strikeouts in 77 and 2/3 innings. Didn't take a toll on him at all. The next year, in 74 innings, he struck out 39 fewer guys. Still struck out 99. I mean, 99 in 74 innings is a lot of strikeouts, but it's 12 per, not 16. Yeah, that 2010 season was ridiculous. And then he was so good in 07, which was his first. That was his first year as a full-time reliever because he when he first came up with the Cubs, he was a starter.
Yep.
In 07, as the primary setup man, he in 69 innings he struck out 96 and allowed 41 hits. He had a 1.43 ERA. To the point where, because they didn't have a lot of starting pitching, Lou took Carlos Zambrano out of game 1 of the playoffs early to get to Marmol because he was going to bring Carlos back to pitch game 4 if he needed to. And Carlos gave up a home run and the Cubs lost.
Yeah.
And there was no
if
game
only
4,
there was
so
I was going to say, if only there was a game 4 for them to play, but there was not.
And I've always thought he did it because he knew they were going to lose game 3 with Rich Hill. He just knew.
Not a bad estimation. Not a bad estimation to make by Lou. Right.
No.
With one pitch into that game, they're down 1-0. I was there that night as a Ute.
He hated Rich Hill. I remember when Rich melted down the next year in St. Louis, and Lou went out to get him. Not a lot of sympathy being shown to the final pitches that Rich had thrown as a Cub. And then who knew he would go on to play for 17 more years.
Jeez. He's not with anyone this year, is he?
He had a couple of gaps. No, he made it to unless somebody gives him it's finally going to end. He's coaching for somewhere.
Coaching, okay.
Like for his adult son.
The fact that he has an adult son, it's crazy.
He pitched from 2005 to 2025. 21 seasons. Just like Tommy John.
Rest in peace.
Died of his own disease. Should have seen it coming. No, wait, that was Lou Gehrig. Yeah, I don't know if you saw on, I'm sure it was on Twitter too, on Blue Sky, some idiot made an AI tribute graphic to Tommy John. It was all wrong. It said he had struck out 4,000 batters and won 300 and some games and won a World Series with the Dodgers in a year when they didn't play in the World Series. And it's he had, maybe just make a real graphic. He had a very impressive career. You don't have to let fucking Claude or whoever the Grok just make shit up.
Right. Hey, the most impressive thing about Tommy John, though, his daughter married Patrick Manley.
Yep. So I said it won't be a dry eye in the house when Patrick Long snaps the urn right into the grave. Jeez. Yeah, I guess we should talk about. So I listened to I don't know why I listened to Bernstein, but I was listening to Bernstein, and he was saying that the loss of Dansby means it's the Cubs have lost their second best player. And I don't agree with that. Seiya is their second best player.
Seiya is definitely their second best hitter. And I don't think where Dansby's offense was even at its best is reaching where Seiya's at. So I would agree and say that Seiya's second best.
I mean, I would agree. Dansby is a much more valuable player to the Cubs than a lot of fans think he is.
Right.
His impact is pretty big. He is still a great defensive shortstop. And really, I meant to jot this down. Because he wasn't going to be able. It would have been nice if he could have kept up the pace where we drove in 15 runs every series. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
But his offense, even since then, has been pretty good.
Yeah. By his standard, pretty damn good. And obviously, you get what you got from him at shortstop, which is few other shortstops can match that. Which.
Yeah,
we saw it in the San Diego series last year. His defense was probably the most valuable part of them winning that series.
It was so good it made Mike Schilt quit.
Yes.
Okay, so his resurgence really started against the Rockies, the series. At the end of the Rocky series, then they played the Blue Jays, then they went to New York. And by then he was actually starting to hit, and they went crazy in New York. So since that Rockies series, so this is it's 49 games. 270, 326, 534 with 11 homers and 38 RBIs. Granted, 15 of those RBIs came in 3 days.
And about 5 of those home runs. Yeah, exactly.
But he's been good, and Craig leaving him towards the bottom of the order has meant that they're really it made it tough for pitchers to like just you couldn't just get to like an easy part of the order. You had Hap wherever he was, that was the easy part, but then you'd run into a real hitter again after that. And I don't mind more playing time for Pedro Ramirez. I think that's fine. I think that the domino effect, the worst part of the Dansby injury is instead of Pedro either DHing or playing for someone who goes into the DH spot, like Bregman DHs because Pedro's going to play third or whatever, you're just kind of stuck with Michael Conforto. And that's nobody wants that.
Well, funny enough, I mean, you saw what Craig had to say the day basically that Swanson sustained the injury that he did, that he was planning on potentially playing Pedro a little bit more at first base to give Busch some time off, because Busch had a long stretch of playing in damn near every game ever since, April, basically.
Well, clearly it has emaciated him because he did homer. He did homer on Tuesday.
Yep.
Still slugging well under 400. And as I did the research, because I'm here for everybody, it would only be the 5th time in the last 50 years where a Cub first baseman slugged under 400. This is a year after he slugged 522.
Wow. Jeez.
He's down there with Pete Lecoq, Trey Mancini.
Oh, God.
1 year of Mark Grace. Grace had 1 year early in his career when he only slugged like 380. Every other year he slugged easily over 400.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Alfonso Rivas. And Alfonso Rivas, Matt Mervis, and Eric Hosmer, 3-headed, where none of them slugged 400.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
So that's the kind of production we've been getting out of the first baseman, which is not good. And it's worse. He's still batting in spots like he's slugging. So he might as well slug.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you've had plenty of time to rest, Michael. Time to start hitting.
Exactly.
And I thought he was immediately going to make me eat my words, and I was fine with it. I'm more than happy because it means that things are going well for the Cubs. He almost homered twice on Monday.
I was going to bring this up.
Like he really drove 2 balls, although the wind was blowing out, but still. And then he did homer on Tuesday. And I thought, okay, good, he's back. And then today, back to none of the Cubs hit, because how are you going to hit Jose? How are you going to hit Jose Urquidy and his 8.10 ERA? He can't.
Yeah. It was a tough watch today for sure. I guess the one redeeming thing about Busch this year, though, I mean, this isn't exactly something that's sustainable, but he has been really good with runners in scoring position. I equated this with a couple of friends of mine that, like, last year for him was the equivalent of like Cody Bellinger's 2023 season, and this year for him is the equivalent of Cody Bellinger's 2024 season.
Yeah, it's more like Cody's 2021 season, or what's the year?
One of the bad years with the Dodgers.
I wondered if I wondered, when Craig said that about, and Pedro did play Sunday, right? He played first base. Whatever game Dansby got hurt in, he was playing first base, because they had to shuffle guys around.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it'd be Craig's commitment to giving Busch a full day off. He didn't. The easiest thing to do would have been to just bring him in. He didn't. They shuffled everybody around. James Triantos got to play. Oh, good.
Wow, that's a rarity. And then quickly shuffled off for Owen Miller. Yeah.
You want, all right, no more of this. Get me somebody else. Well, all we got is Owen Miller. I'll take it. He couldn't even hit in Colorado. Doesn't matter. I kind of wondered if playing him against righties and lefties, his unfortunately, his numbers are basically the same against righties and lefties. And I almost wonder if whatever adjustment he made so he could hang in against lefties better has changed his approach to the point where he's not driving the ball even against right-handed hitters. And if that's the case, go back to platooning him, because he destroyed righties last year, and that's far more valuable than whatever this is, because you're going to see mostly right-handed starters. So that's what I want. I want that Michael Busch. I want the Michael Busch even from 2 years ago who slugged like 440. I don't want the one that slugs 373. That's not doing me any good. The only regulars who slug worse than him are the two catchers and Nico.
Yeah.
And he's batting third and fourth. Well, I guess fourth now mostly, because Bregman is now that he's turned back into Alex Bregman, he's hitting third most of the time.
Right. Yeah, it's been a rough go for Busch for sure.
If they can get him going, then they really do have. I mean, going Pete, Seiya, Bregman, and Busch to start things out. It's pretty good. Like that's rough on. What Brewer just got hurt? Oh, Jackson Chourio. What happened to him? Oh, he hit his head. Yeah, big deal.
Yeah, he can play without that.
He slid into the shortstop. And
oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, I think he sprained his ankle.
Oh, jeez. I have
kind of got stuck under the bag.
I gotcha. I have been checking, and I just been getting notifications on that game. But yeah, did you happen to see who was it? Julio Rodriguez, I think, last night pulled a Milton Bradley of throwing the ball into the stands with not 3 outs.
Wasn't it like 18-0 when he did it? It wouldn't have mattered, but still.
He
robbed Chourio of a home run the night before that was way over. Like Julio was 6'4". I didn't know he's that tall.
Okay.
And he went way up, and Chourio's like, "What the fuck?" Got to hit farther than that, buddy.
Right.
Chourio stayed in, so I would put him on the 60-day injury list just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Take abundance of caution.
Right.
Yeah, so when Shaw comes back, it'll be interesting what they like. I think they traded for Tyrone Taylor because Shaw was out. I think if Shaw had been healthy, Shaw would have been getting starts in left field against lefties long before the deadline. So I think Craig was just done with it and didn't have an option.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it annoying, and I know why Craig does it. Happ has had 3 starts against lefty starters since this, but they've all been openers.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we're going to get a righty eventually. I don't care. It's an excuse not to play him.
Right. Just wait until that righty comes in, and then if you have to, pinch hit Ian Happ. But
he didn't start him on his birthday. Oh, poor Ian must have been.
Poor Ian. Hey, listen. This whole platoon thing with Ian Happ isn't exactly working out all the greatest either, because he got to face Jose Urquidy in the first batter that Urquidy faced, struck out, and then struck out again, and went hitless today. So it's not like exactly this is going to plan for him.
He hit a scorcher to second base in his third at bat. It was 35, 40 miles an hour. It was just ripped.
Good for him.
Yeah, I was told that those 5 hits in the Saturday Sunday in Kansas City was he's back. Here comes another hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting for the hot streak. I think he's got 3 hits since then, all singles.
Right. He did have a nice walk last night to
it's
set.
Funny.
What was it on? Oh no, Monday night to set up and tying it.
Whenever he's up in a big spot, that's all I think of is just try to walk. Like that's the only positive outcome is going to be here is just make sure you try to walk.
Right.
That's what you want out of the guy in the middle of your lineup is, I hope he walks.
And in reality, that shouldn't have been a walk either. If the White Sox had both their ABS challenges remaining, they could have challenged it and said it was a strikeout.
I found that super Boog. So I don't know if it's because I don't know what he was doing. maybe him and Max Venable or buddy, I don't know. But so they put the graphic up that the White Sox have by far the lowest success rate on ABS challenges of any team, and they challenge more than anybody else. And Boog goes, well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not good at it. I'm like, no, that's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
It literally means they're bad at it. They do it more than everybody, and they succeed less than anybody. They are bad at it. Part of it is they've used like 14 catchers this year, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's like 2007 Cubs level for them with catchers this year.
I'm waiting for Robinson Chirinos to show up to solve it for them at the end.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know that their main guy, Kyle Teal, has been like out all year, and that's like the one good catching option they have. But yeah,
he got hurt in the WBC, right? Then he came back, and then he got hurt again.
Yep.
Oh, well. That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
They could have traded for Owen Ayers at the deadline.
Could have. Yeah.
Was it Boog and JD? No, it was Sahadev and Mooney were talking about how, well, maybe the Cubs will bring Owen Ayers up so they have 3 catchers at the end of the year. What? Why? Why would they do that?
No.
Why would they, A, put a guy on the 40-man they don't have to, B, to be the 3rd catcher, C, he started the season in Class A. It's not Trey Savage. We're not hitting every rung on the way up to start him in 1 year for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just enjoy the fact that you might have a productive catcher, a switch hitting catcher, ready to contribute like next year. Mm-hmm. Let's not try to force him on the roster in September. I feel like you have bigger needs than that.
Exactly.
Although Craig kind of needs 3 catchers, because how does he always end up with Carson Kelly on second base and no ability to pinch run for him?
Right. Yeah, true. Kelly last night came into the game late as a defensive replacement. Yeah, so there was no option, but yeah.
Yeah, he was the Manfred man on Monday.
Right.
And then Pete hit a homer, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then
had the leadoff double.
He led off in the 9th with the double, and they couldn't pinch run for him. And then he only scored because Banana Hands dropped the wet baseball.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as he's coming, I'm like, oh, he's not going to make it. And then there was no throw. So let's go think.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess gonna have to bring Justin Dean back. Somebody's got to run for Carson Kelly, because he's always going to be there.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, Kevin Alcantara's here now, but I think Craig would probably prefer Justin Dean over him.
Well, I certainly think if the primary job is defensive replacement pinch runner, I guarantee you Craig would much rather have Justin Dean.
Oh yeah,
because Kevin
definitely
is a terrible base runner.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did enjoy when he scored the tying run on which night? Well, I guess last night.
Tuesday night.
And his celebration was pretty good. As he was sliding into home, he already started his big fist. He rose off the plate into a big fist pump. That's pretty cool.
Very, very John Baker-esque from the game that he won.
At this point, I think Kevin would take a John Baker career if he could get one. Baker hung around for a lot longer than he probably should have, so Kevin's got to hope for that.
Right.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how they play Shaw. They could very well then, if Shaw's back, then you can get Pedro you can sit Busch against some lefties and play Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. How, I don't even know what the word I'm trying to get here for Craig. How hesitant he would be to play either Matt Shaw or Pedro Ramirez at shortstop for a game to give Nico a day off. Yeah. Because if he's not willing to do that, then Owen Miller has to stay. And that seems like a terrible use of a roster spot to have Matt Shaw, Pedro Ramirez, and Owen Miller. One of them should be able to get you through a game at shortstop. I mean, I know Shaw
yeah.
played shortstop his whole life until he got to the Cubs. I know he doesn't have a great arm, but he certainly can, he knows where to stand. That's half of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Line up between third and second base. That's where you line up, man. Okay, I got it. No, face the plate, not the wall. Okay, yeah, how about now? Okay, you're good.
There you go.
So I'll be interested when he comes back if they just boot Alcantara back to Iowa or if it's Miller. And then you kind of get yourself in this weird spot then, right? Miller would need to be, I'm sure he's out of options. He'd need to be waived. I don't think there's much of a risk that he would clear, but if he doesn't, and then Nico gets hurt, now you don't have you don't even have a defensive shortstop.
Yeah.
So maybe you're stuck.
Kind of at that point. Yeah. I remember thinking I was hoping for a game when, everything was going to shit in late May and early June and nobody was hitting other than Pete, that we would get maybe a game where it was a Matt Shaw, Pedro Ramirez middle infield. We never wound up getting it then. Probably not going to get that now, but I guess one nice thing that Craig could consider doing is instead of a day off for Nico, maybe a day where you play Shaw or Ramirez or someone at short and let Nico have a little bit of an easier day at second.
Wouldn't you actually give him a day off then instead of?
Yeah, you might as well.
I think you would just give him the whole idea would be he needs a day of rest. We're going to get him off his feet and he's got to go back because he's our shortstop until Dansby's back. I don't think it would help to have him go over to second and then look at the Pedro or Matt and go, no, you're doing it wrong. No, what are you doing? That's not how you do that.
Right.
So no, I think if he's playing now until Dansby's back, he's playing shortstop. But maybe he won't. Gets tomorrow off, so he doesn't need a day off for a little while.
Yeah,
and we know Craig is not averse to playing these guys every day. He played Dansby for a month on a bad foot 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, I wonder, Jefferson Rojas was only at AA Tennessee at the time of the trade, right?
Yeah, he also wasn't playing shortstop anymore.
Okay,
so
okay.
I don't know. I don't know that they would have called him up. I thought same thing. That's too bad you got rid of him. But I don't know that they would have. I don't think they would have brought him up anyway.
Right. Probably get some Benjamin Cowles action if worse really comes to worse.
Well, you wouldn't do that. I mean, I can't imagine Cowles can handle short any better than Pedro or Shaw. So I think
probably not. But I'm just saying, if Nico were to get hurt, you could plug Cowles in at second potentially, and then
well, you wouldn't need to do that because you have Pedro and Shaw. But this the scenario I was talking about here was Shaw comes back. Are you so averse to playing either Shaw or Pedro at short if you need to that you have to keep Owen Miller? Because you're not getting rid of Owen Miller and then bringing up Benjamin Cowles. You're just going to have Shaw or Pedro have to play shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Cubs went to the playoffs twice with Ryan Terrio playing shortstop. I guarantee you Pedro and Shaw are better than Ryan Terrio was. And you also have Hap. Just have Hap come out and play it.
Yeah, it would be nice if a guy drafted as a second baseman could actually play second base still, but
Can you imagine what his range would be at shortstop?
Oh my God.
He wouldn't be able to get to the bag in time to ever turn a double play.
It would be
where is he?
It would be you might be able to relate to this more than me, but I remember hearing there was this narrative during Sandberg's prime that he wasn't really the best second baseman because he wouldn't make the amazing plays like that. But it was really because he was so well positioned on a lot of those great plays. But that narrative would actually come true for Ian Happ, is that he would have no range. Right.
Now Nico has the opposite problem. Nico dives for everything. Nico dives for balls he doesn't have to dive for. It's Nico, you could just pick that one up. Yeah, the whole bullshit thing. It was mostly White Sox fans that started this. Was this idea that he never dove? He never dives for ground balls. And then the Cub fan response was he doesn't need to. He just gets to everything, which was pretty true, except for the fact that if you ever see the highlight reels that they put together for Sandberg, when he retired, went in the Hall of Fame, there's an awful lot of diving stops for a guy who never dove.
Yeah.
Like he was at the time, and maybe other than Roberto Alomar, probably still is to this day, he was the greatest defensive second baseman who ever lived. Like he was every bit as good as which is kind of rare. It's like Pete, where other fans of other teams roll their eyes. Oh yeah, he's the best defensive player in baseball. Whatever. Well, watch him play, and he is. That's what it was with Sandberg. Oh, he's the greatest defensive second baseman of all time. Well, just watch the fucker play, because he gets to everything, and he never throws the ball away. It was amazing that a guy on the pivot at second base, back when you could actually hit the second base, you could hit him as hard as you want.
True.
He never threw the ball away ever.
Yeah.
He also had this weird like Houdini thing where he very rarely ever got hit. And it's not like he was afraid and was bailing out. He was just one little move and the guy was rolling into left field and Ryan was standing on both feet. It was pretty impressive.
Jeez. Yeah. Just do the old Jackie Robinson move. Just get your feet like off the base real quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you never wanted to be, that's how you blow out your knee, was to have your foot on the ground. Yeah, I know he really was as good as drunk Cub fans thought he was. That was one of the things we were right about.
Right.
There was a lot of other stuff we weren't right about, but saying Ryan Stanford was
Yeah.
Mark Grace is a better hitter than Frank Thomas. Wait, well, that one actually didn't. Although there was a time when Frank was still playing first base, that teams, and I think the Indians just do it to him a lot. He wouldn't throw. So he was he got this like metal, like a Steve Sachs thing. And so base runners, if it looked like they were going to be picked off, they would just run to second base. And a lot of times Frank wouldn't throw to second.
Oh,
you
wow,
could just,
I didn't know about
just
that.
gave you a second. Yeah. And then he got where he was like double pumping. You know, he went to DH early. Like early in his career, he was not a terrible, like he was a pretty good first baseman. Not great, not exceptional, but he was fine. And then he got to a point where he just couldn't play it. Like functionally couldn't do parts of the job anymore. And then he was a full-time DH. But he was such a fucking freakish hitter. I mean, it was
true. Yeah.
The other thing though was, for as big a guy as he was kind of, I always thought he was afraid of the ball. Like any inside pitch, he overreacted like you wouldn't believe, because he basically was trying to discourage. He didn't want to be pitched inside ever. And he would like flail and act like it almost hit him when the ball was like a foot away, and he complained to the ump. He also, he played at Auburn. His 1 year of tight end at Auburn, he played with Bo, and then they played together on the White Sox. And Bo, with a fake hip, would try to destroy catchers at a play at the plate.
Oh yeah. Frank
would not. Frank with the two good hips.
Wow.
Would like try to like slide around him, and this was back in the day when you could hit the catcher as hard as you wanted to.
Well,
I'm sure catchers didn't mind the fact that the 6'5", 280-pound guy didn't want to run them over. But
I was just gonna say, for a guy Frank's size, you would think he'd be one of the most feared runners in that situation.
It's honestly, Frank, just do it once,
right?
And every catcher is going to get the fuck out of the way. You're never going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
He's like, shoot, I had a brilliant observation about something to do with how they were going to use Matt Shaw, and I forgot what it was. Oh well.
I don't know. I mean, would there be the possibility, because he's looked a little more spry these days? Alex Bregman was brought up as a shortstop, or drafted as a shortstop, at least I remember. Would they maybe put him there for a day?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
He had 8 assists in the first 5 innings today.
Yes. Oh my God, he was all over the place today. There were so many like diving stops that he made that were, saved a lot more runs they could have scored. Yeah.
And they are going to have to change this. So when Clay Holmes pitches, you can't play your second baseman that far off the bag with a runner at first. I know that your little positioning thing says to play here, and they handled it okay twice, but I think it cost him at least one double play. Bregman was having to throw the ball to the bag and hope Pedro would get there in time, which is actually kind of a cool looking play when it works, and they made it work both times. But Pedro had no chance to actually turn a double play on balls that could have been double plays if he was anywhere near the bag when the ball was hit, but he's having to run like 30 feet. They had the similar thing on the day before Dansby got hurt when Nico was playing shortstop, where they couldn't turn double plays for the same reason. That would have been a home start. So both of the home start, you're gonna have to change the defense when he plays, because you're gonna have the potential for a lot of double plays because he's gonna get so many ground balls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're gonna be, well, no, it's better to get one out than none, because if the guy's not here, it's like, shove your precious defensive thing up your ass,
right?
And just try to make sure that your middle infielders are close enough to the bag that they can get there and try to turn a double play when you have a runner at first. Would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he kind of had to like hit him in stride, like a lead pass from like a quarterback to a receiver.
I mean, it worked both times. Like the throws and Pedro's timing were perfect both times.
Right.
But that's one where if he's playing normal second base, it's a double play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bregman had to like wait the first time because you got to give Pedro enough time to get up a full head of steam so that when the ball gets there, it doesn't just go into right field.
Right.
Who's the defensive coordinator?
Yeah. Some they should have, honestly, especially for how much they value defense.
Somebody on that staff really is the position guy, and he's the one that draws up the charts and tells them where to go. Maybe it's Dennis Allen. Maybe he does it for both the Bears.
There you go.
For the Bears and the Cubs. Yeah. Oh, maybe Wani does it. Wani needs something to do.
Oh, God. Ugh. Defense would not be this good if it was Wani.
So, I think everybody's heard this stat by now, but because Megan Montemuro posted it, but it was amazing. So I want to repeat it again. It came up on the podcast I was on last night. So Kyle Tucker is currently worth 0.1 WAR for the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
$60 million a year, 0.1 WAR. On Monday, Pete was worth 0.5 WAR for one game.
Oh, man.
0.4 more WAR that night than Kyle Tucker has been all season.
Wow. Man, what a rise for Pete and what a fall from grace for Kyle Tucker. Yeah, it's been a rough go for him with all these drop fly balls and choosing to not play at Dodger Stadium.
I had a great solution though that I came up with on the fly last night about what to do with Tucker. And last year he obviously he was really good the first half, and then he got hurt and everything went to hell. And it kind of looks like it might never not go to hell. But even for the entire season, his road numbers with the Cubs were really good. His home numbers were bad. Uh-huh. This year with the Dodgers, his road numbers are really good. Like they're like Kyle Tucker numbers, but his home numbers at Dodger Stadium are awful. And so my thing is the Dodgers should just find a team to timeshare him with, and it could be the Cubs. And you just get him for the road games.
That'd be perfect. That'd be awesome. Yeah, there you go.
And the guys on Wrigleyville Nation, so we'll just maybe the White Sox won't want to pay him, but that would be perfect if we shared him with the Sox.
Yes.
Because then he wouldn't have to buy a place in Chicago because he would never be in Chicago.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just gonna say that's like the thing. The Cubs and the White Sox are like never at home at the same time. Right. So yeah, that would be perfect.
So we solved that.
He would just live in an RV the whole time. Get Joe's RV.
Yeah. Be a good job for Zach Zaidman and Alex Cohen to just drive the Tucker Cruiser around the country.
Yes.
And unfortunately, with filling out all the forms for travel reimbursement, they won't have time to announce.
Nope.
But I know that would be tough on fans, but we can take that hit if it means Kyle Tucker can safely arrive at whatever park he needs to be in.
I'm just picturing this in my head right now because I actually used to have a job as a freight broker, and that would be a thing with like truck drivers in terms of like their time of driving, because they can't go more than like 10 hours at a time. So yeah, it would work perfectly with Zaidman and Cohen switching off every 10 hours. Yeah.
Right. And then little Alex would fit fine, like he could sleep in the luggage rack. Somebody would have to boost him up, but he'd get in the luggage rack and he could sleep up there. So that would be good.
Right.
Did Pat Hughes come back? Did he announce any of the? Do we know, did he announce any of the games in the series?
He was not there on Monday night, but I believe he was there last night and today.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, now that I remember this, his daughter got married. That's why he was out for the road trip. He was out like quite a long time, and I was actually feeling a little sad for him because like I know one of his good broadcasting buddies is in Kansas City, and Denny Matthews. So he did one of those like baseball voices things there. And then obviously, like, I think he always wants to be there for a Cardinals series. But no, yeah, there's always a clip going around on Twitter or Blue Sky when, the Cubs have a iconic walk-off win and he's on the call for it, and that'll be on there. And then, you
get Zach.
Yeah, that was unfortunate on Monday night that it had to be him calling that.
Did Zach know it was a homer? Oh, it's foul. Oh, they won. Oops. Ron, did you see that? Yeah, I saw it. Oh. What was I looking at? We don't know. We never know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is going on? Why are the Brewer fans standing?
I know at one point they had bases loaded with like Luis Lara at the.
Oh, they do right now the great Joey Ortiz gonna try to hit a second homer, and he didn't.
Great.
It will be a sac fly though, so it's 7-3.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, the Cubs. So I mean, I think if you're the Cubs, your target, you want to be 4 games out or under when you get ready to play those 7 games in 10 days. That seems like a manageable number.
I was just going to ask you about this too. Yeah, what number would you feel comfortable at? That seems about right. I would maybe say 5. I don't know, but
be
one
nice
where
to be like 2 back, but
would be nice
up all hope.
Would be nice to just be in first place yourself by then, which could happen, but probably not going to happen.
Well, they have the great Jake Bowers, and you can't get him out.
No job.
He's like this year's Andrew Vaughn. Oh, for Christ's sakes!
Uh-oh.
How have the Mariners ever won a game? So Brewers, they tried to pick Yelich off second, and Cal Raleigh hit Yelich in the head with the ball. So now it rolled into right field. So now Christian is on third. Raleigh just missed a pitch last night, early in the game. I was watching. I'm like, how did he get so terrible? Like he probably should have been the MVP last year, and he is awful.
Exactly.
Just terrible. I liked how, and it was inevitable, right? He had made it through the entire season without an error or a pass ball, and then he had one in like a crucial spot in the LCS against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
It's like that's going to happen to the poor son of a bitch. It's like you should have made an error in like the game 162 just to make it, and then you didn't.
Exactly, just to get it out of the way and not have the pressure on you anymore.
Cal, why did you throw the ball in the stands? I have my reasons.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, he cursed himself during the World Baseball Classic. Remember when he wouldn't shake Randy Arozarena's hand?
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow.
He's been terrible ever since.
Yeah. Hey, all the big performances of the WBC are not having great years because Palencia for the Cubs too. All right. Mariners got out of it, thankfully.
Well, Pete.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Pete
Bregman
is doing very well.
Took Bregman 3 months to get the DeRosa off of him.
Right.
But now he's back to being normal. I don't know if you saw the post game interview with Taylor last night after he got the walk off.
Of it. Yeah.
What did you do during the rain delay? Well, I had a piece of pizza and a Dr. Pepper. You did? What kind of pizza? Good Lord. Calm down.
Right.
And what was with today? You were at the game. You didn't see this. Early in the game, Taylor had a joystick, like an old Atari, Atari style joystick, which half of the listeners can immediately picture. You're too young, but it's just a black with the one
I know what
red
you're talking
button.
about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they were pretending that with the joystick she could control the drone. And they did this for half an. But all I could think of was, if Boog knew that Taylor was going to be jerking around a joystick, he would not have taken today off.
No.
Or maybe it's why he had to be home.
There you go. He had to watch from the comfort of his own home and be unfiltered about it.
That broadcast is so bad. So last night when Gossman left the game with the cramp, and on TV we could tell what it was because they, you could see them like doing it, and they even gave him the telltale sign that it was a cramp was when they came out the first time. They gave him one of those little like gel packs that runners, do to get electrolytes real fast.
Yeah.
And they gave him one while they're like jacking around with his left thumb. He's drinking that stuff, so you knew it was a cramp. But anyway, he leaves the game finally. First time in his career he's ever left the game because of an injury. I thought was pretty impressive. They immediately go to Taylor. I was like, oh my God, she's going to do her job, do an injury update. Taylor, before the game, Pete Armstrong was on the field with some kids from the Boys and Girls Club. It's like,
who cares?
Could you just do your job and announce the game that's actually happening?
Or, can we get the Gausman injury report first and then maybe like an inning or two later, then do the whole PCA? Yeah.
There's like, it says here on the piece of paper that in the 5th inning, Taylor's going to do the Boys and Girls Club update. Oh, man. For God's sakes. It's kind of jarring when, and my new thing that annoys me more than anything, I've been noticing it for a while, but Boog will never say who a pinch hitter is hitting for.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
This.
It's like he does it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when the Cubs get down to the bottom of the order, Craig changes the bums around all the time. I'm not scoring the game. I don't remember who's batting 8th tonight. And I just love having to look at my phone for the information that the announcer just refuses to give me. He will never do it. He's like, well, here's Michael Conforto pinch hitting. For who? You've only told me half the stuff. Right. I also, it's so annoying that they will go to commercial during their great call to the bullpen and not tell you who the pitcher is that's coming in. They hardly ever show guys warming up in the bullpen. Hardly ever. Everybody at the game knows because it's on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they put on the LED board in the corner there. Yeah.
People at the game have more relevant information than those of us watching it on the Cubs TV network.
Yeah. It's pretty bad in the fact that it's one of those things where, not to pay compliment to Alex Cohen here, but he feels like a guy who's a little bit more up to date on things that happen in games than Boog is sometimes when he's trying to just have the chuckle fest with JD.
Yeah. Well, that's the broadcast mark he wants is the conversational whatever. And there's a time and place for that. That is when the game is not close. That's fine. That's when it's really nice to have JD who can entertain you for 3 innings at a time in a bad game.
Yeah.
But they, under Boog, which was never the problem with Len, they find it impossible to shift into this is a big moment in the game or this is a big sequence. These 2 innings are very important. They can't ever seem to get to that and talk through a game. And honestly, the radio broadcast is similar. When you listen to other teams' radio broadcasts of games, there's a lot of the analysts talking about situations and who's coming up and looking ahead. And Coomer's over there, talking about, the restaurant that I'm sure it's bankrupt by now, but the one he had that they just put fries on everything.
Yeah.
And it's did we get our guesses in for the attendance game? Mm-hmm. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody has cared for 20 years. Once you took the fax machine out, you might as well have killed the stupid attendance game because that's the last time that was ever fresh.
Yeah.
Pat is still good at the big moments. Like you do want to hear Pat call a big moment because Pat's still good. But even the radio broadcast is pretty, and a lot of it I think is the Pat trying to crack Zach up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just stop that shit.
He's getting like encouraged by all the big laughs from Zach. Yeah, it's getting annoying.
Yeah, I feel like Pat gets mad then if Zach doesn't laugh. I got to hurl in front of you. But the TV broadcast is bad. Now, I'd much rather have Boog than Cohen because Cohen drives me nuts because he babbles. Right. He never stops talking. A lot of it's not relevant. The one thing I enjoy is that he will ask these like long-winded questions of JD, and JD will just answer with one word, which I just love.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Okay. Well, we have nowhere to go from there. But, and then there's the whole thing that like, it's still, I find it annoying. Like you get a big moment like you did on Monday night. Well, you have back-to-back walk-offs with a great atmosphere. And I have zero interest in watching that postgame.
No,
I don't want to watch. I'm like, fine. I saw it happen. I don't need to listen to Cole Wright yammer on for whatever. I never thought it would get this bad. I mean,
Cliff occasionally gives a good point or two, but yeah,
Cliff would be much better with a real. Cliff is
right.
It's funny how much better Cliff is with Elise.
Yeah,
like Elise is really good at that job. Like that should just be her job.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we get Cole just babbling away. It doesn't have to be like that, but it's that's just how it is.
Right. Yeah. 50% of that like post game show, because I do watch every now and then, and I do it for the sole purpose of just seeing like which of my tweets are going to wind up on here. But that's what like 50% of the post game show winds up being is just showing random Cub fan tweets. So
it's the only way they can get viewers. People, it's like everybody's like, oh, what if they'll use mine?
Yeah.
I had one on there early on in a marquee, and it was they didn't realize that. I don't remember my tweet anymore. It was completely sarcastic, and they didn't know it was sarcastic, and they put it up. Yeah. And then somebody went, "Oh no, not that guy! Don't do that again."
Red flag. Red flag.
He's on the list. He's on the list. So now the new thing at Wrigley, or with the in Marquee, it's a Wrigley thing, is you can download your surveillance photos from the park.
Yeah, yes, I saw that, and I got a couple of mine too.
So when I was writing the column, I texted Oleg. I said, "Where did you sit on Saturday?" And he's like, "Why?" And I go, "Just where did you sit?" And he told me. So then I found a nice GIF. Because you can make GIFs out of it.
Yes, I saw this.
Like one, and I made a nice GIF of Oleg like fist pumping a Nico diving catch. But I know where Al sits, so I had to get some.
There you go. There you go. That's what it's good for.
It's just really creepy. It's weird that they don't understand that some people would be like, "Wait a minute, what? You just have cameras trained on every single person in the park?" The entire game? Like, of course we do. Don't you want to see how excited you got? No, I don't. I did mean to go. Oh, I should have done that before the pod. I wanted to go see. I have a feeling. Well, I know you won't see them because the ones they make public are only around big moments. But I wonder what would have happened if during the fight, if like there'd been a big moment, like how great would it have been to be able to dial those up? And it's just the one guy in the wife beater who's literally just punching the guy in the Sandberg jersey is covered up and he's just hitting him over and over and over again. You could just get those. Like, oh, here's fun. You can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Here's a GIF of it.
Just a GIF out of that. That'd be incredible. Can I tell you, I had so many people like texting me asking, was that you that got beat up? Because it was like a heavy set dude with a beard like me. And thankfully, I was not there Monday night, but yeah, that was a big concern. Yeah, I had
confidence it wasn't you. I don't see you as a guy who would have just covered up and taken it. I have a feeling.
Fuck no.
Plus, that guy had the height. Now, the best part of that was the first guy that goes flying is in a Hap jersey.
Yes.
And he like rolls down the bleachers.
He took quite a tumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Jeez. Yeah, I saw a couple of those from like I saw mine from the Toronto makeup game. It was a pretty good gif of me like celebrating the Alex Bregman home run. I don't know. I enjoy those, but I get it. You know, that's also something that you kind of take more pride if like you get on TV or you're in like the social media post, which funny enough on the I think it was the Sam Antonacci like deep fly ball to or no, it's not Sam Antonacci. Sam Antonacci caught it, but Bregman hit a deep fly ball to left in the 7th, and I wound up making it on TV and I think also on like a White Sox like social media post out of it.
So Antonacci likes to get hit with the ball. He
does.
He stuck his elbow out on Monday night, which should have. JD pointed that out. Like one of the home plate umpire can't really see that, but any of the base umps could have been like, no. I mean, he literally stuck his elbow out. I mean, we saw Rizzo do it forever, but it's not as charming.
Contreras too, kind of.
Team.
Yeah.
But then it was today. He stopped between on a Cubs trying to turn double play. He not only stopped between first and second, he was intentionally running back towards first to try to cut the angle off. So I think it was Nico. It was Nico. He was trying to throw to first and couldn't, and they were arguing that Busch wanted interference.
Yeah.
But I was one of those like, if he wants to hit with the ball so bad, just let's give him the Stephen Piscotty treatment.
Right.
And we'll hit him. We'll hit him at home plate. We'll hit him between first and second. We'll hit him between second and third. Just
I completely forgot about
how excited Sam Antonacci is about sticking his stupid ass in front of every ball that's flying around.
Yeah, I want to say I think I saw something because he got hit by a pitch last night. I think it was, and in that whole process of it, the Sox tweeted something out to the effect of like he's like tied the Sox single season record for hit by pitches. Yeah, he tied Minnie Minoso in 56 and then Carlos Quentin in 2011, which like for a rookie, pretty impressive, but also, you wonder, are those really hitting him? Are they really hitting him, but like, are they hitting him fairly? We should say.
So former Cub and a guy they've played in the 2016 World Series who actually, I guess, did he drive in the final run? No, Rajay did. He scored the final run of the World Series.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Brandon Geyer finished his career in 7 years with, I got to look this up. I used to remember this.
I know what you're talking about.
His
this was
career,
like a John Boyce video. Yeah.
91 walks in 7 years and 85 hit by pitches. He almost, at one point in his career, he had more hit by pitches than he did walks. He led the American League in back-to-back years, 15 and 16, 24 and 31. And then he had 23 more. Oh no, the one year he had 23 with the Rays before he came to the Indians. And then he had 8 more with them. That was the World Series year. Nice. I think Rizzo has said he's the all-time left-handed hit by pitch guy.
Is he? That's a good question. I know he's definitely number one for the Cubs. He got that in like 2019, I want to say. And then he was pretty high up there in the all-time ranks before he called it quits.
So he is. There are the number 1 and 2 are switch hitters. Huey Jennings and Craig Biggio. But then it's Tommy Tucker, Don Baylor, former Cub Jason Kendall, Ron Hunt, who was famous when I was a kid. That was the guy. Don McGann, and then Anthony Rizzo. He is the left-handed all-time leader in because Chase Utley. Well, Rizzo would have retired after Utley. He passed Utley. Yeah, Minnie Minoso is 11th. The active leader is Starling Marte, 170, and then Wilson Contreras.
I was going to say, I was wondering where Contreras would be with that, just from the ones against the Brewers from all those years with the Cubs, and now with the Red Sox earlier this year too.
Yeah. And Ty France is the third leading. Ty France, I wouldn't have.
No.
So how many times has Antonacci gotten hit this year? But he's already, because he played that many games, 105 games.
23 he has so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of slug there, but I guess his on base is fueled quite a bit by those hit by pitches.
It is.
He only has 31 walks. 23 hit by pitches and 31 walks.
It is also nice to see a team, up and coming that's using left field as a spot for a guy that his natural position is blocked. Unlike the Cubs, who just stick a guy out there for 5 straight years.
Wow, because he's the greatest defensive left fielder anybody's ever seen.
I know. Hey, some of the hive that defends Hap has kind of made its way over to Blue Sky now. I don't know if you saw the exchange I had earlier today with some asshole.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, he's tough not to defend. I mean, he's having such a great year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I always like to go get a little update here of how he's been doing for the last 81 games. It's been really impressive. So what's 123 minus 842?
1123 minus 842 or
last 82 games. 210, 299, 383, 100 strikeouts, and 295 at bats. He's just not doing anything.
No. I very much enjoyed, for those who haven't listened, I very much enjoyed your discussion with Tom Loxis about him a couple weeks ago. Just, Marquis often pushes the narrative on him, and, that's what kind of brainwashes a lot of fans about him.
His batting average hasn't.
By the way,
he's been
11
high.
strikeouts away from eclipsing a new career high. His career high was.
Well, him platooning now is cutting into his chances of striking out 200 times, but he can still do it. He only needs. It's 2 more today, right? So he needs 40 in the last 35 games. Is that what the Cubs have left?
He can get there.
He can do it. That's no problem for Hap. Shit, he can give you 50 if you need it.
Right.
He's a 103 OPS plus. He's barely above league average, and you're playing him in left, for God's sakes.
I just want one time for him to finish a year like below league average, just so I don't have to hear it from all these defenders of his on Twitter being like, oh, he always winds up at 10 to 20% above league average. Yeah, sure. Cool. Check what his numbers were in 2021 before the trade deadline. And, that season went to shit because he didn't do anything then.
This year is the worst year he's had since then. He was a 103 OPS plus that year, and that's what he is right now. And that was with a big surge, 21. He was like in the 70s, maybe even lower than that at the deadline. He was terrible. Like we wouldn't have had to go through this. They would have traded him, but nobody wanted him. And Ross had benched him.
Yeah.
Because he was so terrible. He was hitting in the 180s.
Granted, we probably wouldn't have Pete at this point if that hadn't happened, but maybe it would have been a nicer ending with Rizzo and Bryant a little bit if they had kept them on the team.
What? No, what I'm saying is the sell-off was happening. He was going to be part of the sell-off, but he was too bad to trade.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Jed, they tried to trade him and no one would take him. So that's why he stayed. No, they still had Pete because that trade would have still happened.
I get
would
that.
Not have had Hap.
It is something I do often think about though with that team because I drove to this home point a lot on social media that the day before they traded like Bryant and Baez, I think the same day that they traded Rizzo. They were 50-53 through their first 103 games. And another team that was also 50-53 was the eventual World Series champion Atlanta Braves that year. And they didn't sell. So, I mean, obviously it was a much easier division race for them then, but it is something to wonder about, like, if Hap could have been a little bit better that year when the games were still meaningful, what direction they would have went.
Yeah. I think, well, I mean, the reason they sold was, they were 50-53, but they had just had that long losing streak, and it was over.
Yeah.
Their pitching had fallen apart. The Braves were struggling because their whole outfield had gotten hurt. So they went out and bought a new outfield.
Yeah. Jock Peterson.
And Jack Peterson, Jorge, World Series MVP, Jorge Soler.
Right.
And then like Eddie Rosario, I think. Is that who they got?
Sounds right. Yeah.
All those guys went nuts for them. I mean, that was obviously it was a fluke, but they could pitch. And that was the reason that they were like, shit, we're not wasting the season where we actually can pitch. Plus they had Dansby. So that's all you need.
That's true.
And
they might have still had Freddie too at the time, I think.
They did. That was the end of Freddie, right?
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, because that was the year that Rizzo struck him out with the like Frederick clip. Yeah.
Yeah, because Charlie Morton had a good year. Max Fried.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Smiley was 11-4 for them.
Oh, wow. I think a current guy in Iowa for the Cubs right now was on that team as well that won a lot of games. Kyle Wright. Did I remember right?
That was the year before or after. He was hurt. It must have been the year before. He was hurt. He didn't pitch that year. Gotcha. But there is a Cub. There's a current Cub who was in their bullpen, who is the Cubs' best reliever.
Jacob Webb?
Jacob Webb was on that Braves team.
All right.
Got a World Series ring. Who knew?
He might have two. I think he was on the
he was on the Rangers.
He was on the Rangers.
Too, right?
Yeah.
Nope, he was on the Rangers last year. He was in Baltimore when they won the World Series. So he didn't get a ring there, unless the Orioles won one that I missed.
Yeah.
He missed
Paper
the
Tigers.
World Series year in Texas.
Yeah.
He did pitch in the playoffs for the Orioles in 23 and 24.
Okay.
And he pitched in the LCS for Atlanta when they won, but he did not pitch. This might be why he didn't pitch in the World Series. In the LCS, he pitched twice and had an ERA of 21.6.
Oof.
He was 27 then.
Wow.
He's 31. He's 32.
Yeah. He's my age.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Yeah, he has been really good. Hopefully, that October performance doesn't repeat itself, but hopefully by then also some more help was coming down the pike for the Cubs in the bullpen. He
was a kid. He was a young 27 back then.
That's true.
Inexperienced. In his last playoff appearance for the Orioles, one outing, no runs allowed. So there you go.
There you go.
0 ERA in the 24 playoffs. Against the Royals. God, I forget the Royals were in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. God. Well, yeah, that was the year that, like, all the AL Central teams made it, other than the White Sox, because they beat up on the White Sox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got, like... I remember going through and looking at the Sox only won, like, 8 games against the Central that year. Something. It was ridiculous. It was like everybody got, like, 10 wins. An automatic 10 wins just because you had the White Sox. And then I remember their record against teams with a winning record, they won less than 10 games against teams with winning records that year.
Oh, God.
I mean, they only won 40 games anyway, right? So,
right.
Oh. Hey, whatever you got to do to get the 10th pick.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's still the best part. They're the worst season of baseball history, and they still couldn't. They literally couldn't pick in the top 10.
Yep. Thank you, Rick Hahn and Chris Getz, and geniuses running that front office that I heard so much about we're doing a better job than Theo Epstein after 2016.
Yeah, it's hard to get a handle on just like how good they are or how much of it is how bad the Central is. Like,
Right.
I think if they were in, like, they would be a good story no matter what division they were in. But this is the only division they'd be in first place in. So,
for sure.
Well, maybe the AL West is terrible too. So I guess they could have been there.
Right.
They're old stomping grounds.
I was going to say their old division. Yeah. Man.
All right. Well, I think we're. So the Cubs they're going to Seattle.
Yep.
And Arizona.
Arizona. Yes.
So,
hey, that's a real interesting sequence of a road trip because if I remember right, in 2024 they had those two back to back in like April in 2024, and that's when like Michael Busch hit like the bulk of his home runs.
That's what I was going to say. Busch should be good. Busch should be good for 5 home runs this weekend.
Right.
He's from there, right? Isn't he from Washington State?
No, he's from Minnesota, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, don't they always?
I think
talk about
he went
him?
to college in North Carolina.
Yep.
So I don't know why I thought he had a connection to the great Northwest.
Yeah. North.
Yeah, Grove Heights, Minnesota. Yeah, because he was a hockey player, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, well, never mind. But yes, he had a historic, like, he homered in 5 straight games and hit like 700.
That's right. He matched like some record that like Sammy Sosa had, I want to say, during that run.
That was 24.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? It was early in the season too.
It was like late April, early May.
Well, he hit 1 homer a game, but for 5 straight games. He homered in the last game in San Diego. Then he homered in all 3 games in Seattle, and then he homered in the first game against the Diamondbacks. So 5 They were his first.
There we go.
He had hit 1 home run before, so it was home runs 2 through 6 for the Cubs. Then he didn't homer again for almost a month. Then he didn't homer again for like 3 weeks. Doesn't matter. Get him when you get him. Just like Carson Kelly loading up in Sacramento last year. They don't take him off your tally just because you got them all in one series.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks I find them very interesting considering they kind of doing it with one pitcher. Eduardo
Rodriguez.
I was going to call him Ramirez.
Yeah.
And Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen have been terrible. And I know they're terrible because when I was making the case for the Cubs to release Jameson Taillon, there were only 12 pitchers in baseball who had been worse than Jameson Taillon, and both Kelly and Gallen were on the list.
Oof. Jeez. Wow, that's...
Yeah, Eduardo is 12-4 with a 2.71 ERA.
Wow,
so that's good.
Nice little bounce back for him. I hadn't heard much from him since his days with the Red Sox in like the late 2010s, really. But good for you, Rod.
But Merrill Kelly, 8-11 with a 5.37. Zach Gallen on the 60-day IL now, 3-9 with a 6.34. Former Cub great Mike Soroka, 8-3 with a 2.93.
Yeah.
He didn't make. I still don't understand why the Cubs didn't keep him.
Right.
Like, they made this whole big deal about, we're going to make this one change to him, and it's just going to make him amazing. We're going to give him regular starts and blah, blah, blah. And then he gets hurt. And then they just, that plan's out the window. It's like, well, what did you see in him? What did he do in the 2 games he actually pitched for you that made you be like, well, we were wrong. He sucks. Because he's been good for them. And then they moved Brandon Pfaadt into the rotation, and he's 7-1.
I'm taking a look here at the Diamondbacks pitching staff. Do I see this right? Is this a former co-host of yours that's in that staff? Mitch Brott? Or no, that's Mike Brott.
It's his brother.
On their baseball reference.
They spell their last name different. but it's
There
his
you go.
brother, Mitch.
There you go.
Mitch Cumstein, just night putting with the daughter of the dean. I wonder. Well, number one, where will Ketel Marte be? Will he be back?
Oh,
he's
forgot
gone
about
missing.
that.
Nobody knows where he is.
Right.
That wouldn't kill me for him to not be there. He's not having as good a year as normal, but he's still 21 homers, 67 RBIs, playing second base. And will we get Rick Sutcliffe for one of these two West Coast series?
Oh, yeah.
We need him for Arizona because Ildemaro Vargas, his favorite player, plays for the Diamondbacks.
True.
It's one of my favorite Rick Sutcliffe things ever was this dog-ass Cub team. They weren't any good. And they're playing out in San Diego, and he's doing the games, and Ildemaro is struggling. And Rick is blaming everything on him. It's like, Rick, it's Ildemaro. Just leave him alone.
Right. This team was
That's
bad
a
by
weird
design,
team.
Rick.
Yeah. Perdomo hasn't had nearly as good a year as he had last year. He's only at 246 with a 374 slug. Nolan Arenado is playing third for them, which I forgot. 20 homers, 62 RBIs. But he's only getting on base 321. Corbin Carroll is leading the league in triples with 15. But he's only hitting 246. Ryan Waldschmidt, their little hotshot rookie. Yeah, his batting average is bad, but his on base is not nearly what you expect for Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
They've been having to play Tim Tawa at first base, which is nobody wants to do that.
No.
They do have Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah.
Lars not good for them. 143, 302, 171. I don't know. I always liked Lars. I think I liked him when he played for Team Japan. His mom is Japanese. That's why he played for him. And his sister's really cute. They kept showing his sister. And I thought, I'd like to like this guy, but he's a Cardinal, so I can't. Well, now he's a Diamondback, and he's just not any good. So
there you go.
Doesn't matter.
I had to stop liking him, but now you can like him.
What is going on with the Joey Ortiz? I know you're still mad that the Cardinals gave him up.
Right.
Joey Ortiz just drove in another run for the Brewers. 7-4 now. It was 7-0.
Oh,
now it's 7-4.
I think I see why that is, because the guy that the White Sox gave up on, and Sir Anthony Dominguez, is on the mound, who kind of failed as their closer earlier this year.
It's funny because I know the Sir Anthony went back just to help defer some salary because Luis Castillo made so much.
Right.
I didn't expect the Mariners to actually use him.
No.
But they are. It's funny how teams with all this pitching still end up with a bunch of bums that have to get you innings out of the bullpen.
Right.
Our pitching's amazing. Look, it's Sir Anthony Dominguez. Well, that's not good.
No, not at all.
Sure, the Cubs will hit fine in Seattle against that pitching staff in that park.
I would hope so. We'll see.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh this year. So what did he do last year? Last year, 60 homers, 125 RBIs, 948 OPS. This year, he was worth 7.2 WAR. This year, 157, 271, 299, negative 0.5 WAR.
Oh man, the Brady Anderson of catchers. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he'll get it. He'll put it all together this weekend.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Be September. No, it'll be. Yeah. It'll be September. Oh.
Ooh. Wow.
We'll be right be in between Brewer series, I think.
Right smack in the middle of it, I believe. Yeah, because the first game of that series, the 31st, and then it goes between through the first, second, and third. Yeah, because it's a 4-game series.
4-gamer at Wrigley and the 3-gamer up in Dairy Barn.
Yep, that's it.
We can shut that Pat Murphy up. Actually, nobody can
pancakes
shut
for
Pat
you.
Murphy up.
True.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. It'll all be Cubs will have all these pitchers back. It'll be amazing. Yeah, we'll see.
There we go.
Many of us have herpes. post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. And got to congratulate the Dolan family.
Thank you.
Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much, Andy.